So this is a website called Calligraphr, and it helps you to create your own fonts. First thing you have to do is log in. It's free, but create yourself an account. The next thing you do is create a template and print it out. So if you click on this link, it will give you these options. Click on Minimal English and download the template. Download it as PDF form. You just download it and you will see that it looks like this. So this is the box that you're going to put your letters in. Now you don't actually have to create uppercase and lowercase. I'm just going to create uppercase. Okay, and you can see that they've all got the right lines, guidelines to help you keep the sizing correct. So you create your typeface. Now to do this, I made, just let me show you this, I made letters out of rusty nails, like you do. So I created these and I just took basic photographs of them all. I then decided I didn't want them just as the rusty nails, so I just put them into a filter, through a filter, and I just got them to look like this little bit more slightly grungy look. Okay. Then on Photoshop, now you can do these two ways. You can do this on Photoshop, and on Photoshop I've put each one of my letters, if I go find the Z that I need to put in, I've put each one of my letters into the right box. So here's my Z. I'm just going to make that much smaller. Come on, come on, come on. Make sure it come on. It's not playing today. Right, okay. And I've just been aware of the sizes as well, because you want to make sure they're roughly the same size. So there you go, that's my alphabet. You could do this by Photoshop, or you could do it by hand. So you could actually, if you haven't got Photoshop, you could print out the actual template and stick your letters physically on, or you can draw your own letters into these boxes yourself. Once I've saved that as a JPEG or a PDF, you then go back to the Calligraphr website and you upload what you've done. So you just upload your template. So these are all my letters. If you've done it by hand, what you'll have to do is just scan your handmade piece in, but that will work just as well. And then you click Build Font, call it what you're going to call it. I'm going to call it Nailed It. Do you see what I did there? And it will create your font. So there's my font. Here's your actual font file, if you like. Click on that and it will download, and you will find that it comes up something like this. Now the reason this here only looks like it's got one letter and all the letters are in something else is because I've only done caps in my letters. So you can see here, this bit, you can see all the letters, the lowercase are all in normal. So I can only type into this typeface using caps. You would install it, just click install and it will install it for you. And if we go back to Photoshop now, and I can find that my file is there, my type is there, and I'm going to put, this is my, oh, you see, I put a lowercase there. Let's try again. This is my Nailed It font. And that is my Nailed It font. Now what I could do with that, let me just do a bit of, that's better. What I could do with that as well is I could change the kerning. I could change the kerning and the spacing, there you go. The one difficulty with this is if you want it to be true, then you do need to do your all 52 letters and maybe punctuation as well, because you need to do 26 uppercase, 26 lowercase. But I think it's a pretty good way of creating your own typeface that you could use. You could use this in your actual design work, or maybe you want to use it for headings for pages. So if you're doing, let's say you're doing a I don't know, a theme on music and rhythm, maybe you could take every single letter from an album cover, or a band. If you're doing advertising, take well-known letters from advertising. If you're doing graffiti and grunge, take letters from graffiti that you see online. So hopefully that will help, and enjoy your fonts. I'll put all the links in the necessary places. If you wanted to try the Calligraphr by hand, again, you could just do your own handwriting. So, I mean, that would be majorly quick. And that can look really nice because it might save you a job. But it can look quite personal. So, STUVWXYZ. So you get the idea. I'll scan this one in and show you how it works. JKLMNOP and this one's good because you can actually do your own punctuation, which actually is quite good as well. Okay, I will scan this one in and show you how this works. Okay, if you wanted to try the Calligraphr a different way, you could do something like get a magazine and cut loads and loads of different letters out. This is, it requires a bit of patience because obviously you've got to look through the magazines. But actually, do you know what? If you've got a couple of hours, you've got nothing better to do. You know, you've done your daily exercise, you've done all your graphics work, you've finished Netflix. This is actually quite therapeutic. So, as you can see, I'm cutting out every single letter from a magazine. These magazines, things like Tesco magazine, are really good because they've got loads of adverts in, therefore they've got lots of different typefaces. Sometimes if you pick a magazine like, I don't know, Vogue or something like that, they use a particular typeface all the time. Not that I would cut up Vogue's. But you can look up all these different lettering styles. Really interesting because you get so much different variety. It does take a bit of patience, but if you go all the way through the letters, stick them down, and then you would have to scan that in. So if you're doing these by hand, you would need to scan, or you could take a photograph. If you haven't got a scanner, just take a photograph of your sheet. Make sure it's not, if you've got an Apple phone, make sure it's not on the HEIC setting, or that won't work. Make sure it is either a PDF or a JPEG. So take a photograph of it, or your hand rendered one like that, upload that to the Calligraphr site, and there's your own typeface. Have a go at it.